Arinjay, how are you? Is everything fine? Any question from the last class? Where are the others? Hi, Prince. Prince, have you submitted all answer, or you still wants to submit?
सर वो ना क्या मैं आपको बताऊं, मेरे को ना घर में थोड़ी सी ना प्रॉब्लम चल रही थी, फिर सैटरडे संडे ना मेरी तबीयत कुछ ज्यादा खराब हो गई थी।
Okay, no
मैंने
problem.
लिख रखे हैं बट मैं साइन करना भूल जाता हूँ।
No कोई।
तो भेज दूंगा सर। हाँ मैंने लिखे हुए हैं क्वेश्चन।
हाँ लिखे हुए तो आप भेज दीजिएगा।
हाँ सर मैं भेज दूंगा।
राइट हम डेट फिक्स कर लेंगे एंड देन अकॉर्डिंगली वी कैन डिस्कस। ओके कोई कंफ्यूजन है, कोई सवाल है कल के सर क्लास से?
कल की आज मैं लूंगा क्लास।
अच्छा ठीक है।
हाँ मैंने थोड़ी सी ली थी ना, फिर वो जो बाकी है वो
कोई बात नो प्रॉब्लम। अरिंजय, डू यू हैव एनी कंफ्यूजन, any clarification if you want? No, fine, very good. Let's wait 2-3 minutes so that other may join. Right, Deepak is regular, Manvi is regular. आप प्रिंस क्लास खत्म हो गई वहां पर जो ज्योग्राफी की क्लास चल रही थी?
सर
हो गई खत्म?
क्वेश्चन आंसर कुछ सर ने बोला था किसी को डाउट है तो पूछो, तो शायद वही हो रहा होगा, बट बाकी तो पता नहीं।
अच्छा हो रहा होगा, इसीलिए बच्चे नहीं आए हैं। ओके ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम। लेट्स वेट फॉर few more minutes. So Arinjay, are you appearing this time?
Yes, sir. I haven't decided yet. I'm still not confirmed it because well, initially planned tha, but due to some new developments, I had filled up some application forms for masters in the US. So वहाँ से कुछ decisions आए थे, तो I was
Masters for what kind of masters?
Sir, MS in electrical and computer engineering, sir.
Okay, good. So you are trying to switch there?
Yes, sir. I have got an acceptance from one university. I'm waiting for a few others. So then I'll browse my options. But probably I'll be attempting the prelims this year at least. I'll get an idea of the exam pattern and all. So maybe after I pass out, then I can appear in 23.
Okay, 23 you are targeting, right?
Yes, sir.
You're already BTech, right?
Yeah, I've already been.
Okay, no problem. That's good. Hi, good afternoon, Firoz. How are you? Where you have been?
Good afternoon.
You're late. Where are others?
Don't know, sir.
Yes, Firoz.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Where are others? Still class going on?
No, sir. Class just over 2-3 minutes back.
Okay, 2-3 minutes ago it over. Okay. So let me start now, or should I start? Should I wait 2 more minutes? People, because when people will join us later. Okay, let them join later. No problem. So yesterday we finished part 4 of the Indian Constitution, that is DPSP, right? And I told you that you need to look at the particular article from Article 36, that is talks about state, to Article 51, right? And I hope you have looked at the particular articles, all articles, and on each articles you need to only put keyword, like Article 39. You have to put keyword, only keyword, 2-3 keyword, so that you can catch, right? Fine. So today we will start with fundamental duties. The fundamental duties is in part 4A, right? And what is fundamental duties, right? Okay, can I ask what is duties? Simple, what is duties? Okay, there is a what is rights. So rights is claim. Okay, what is duties? Deepak, what is duty? Responsibility. Right? So responsibility towards your surroundings, towards your society, towards your nation state, where you are, you are a member of that community. So that is simple meaning of duty is a responsibility being as a member of the community, right? Because you are living in that particular community. So state is also itself a community, political community. So when you are living in a state or particular nation, you have particular responsibility, right? So there are few responsibilities, and that was added into the Indian Constitution through the 42nd Amendment, right? So, and that is basics. Few. So duty, in another word, can be called as a obligation, moral and ethical obligation. What do you mean by word the moral and ethical obligation? What is the meaning of ethics? आप लोग ने ethics paper पढ़ा होगा. What does it mean? Anyone? Prince, Arinjay? Arinjay? What is ethics? Simple meaning of the word. Yes, Arinjay, go ahead.
So ethics could mean
Okay, what is moral? You are a very amoral person. We say generally in talking among the friends or to someone, you are a moral person. This is a moral act of the state. What does it mean? Moral means righteousness, amoral means wrong. Simple meaning. Right? Right or wrong, isn't it?
yes, sir.
Right? So, right thing to do. That is moral. Right? So, righteousness is moral. Ethics is morally correct. So, the word ethics is very much loaded. You see, ethics means morally correct. Moral means right thing to do. Right? So, ethics is very much a loaded word. Right? So, that is the difference between ethics and morality. Now, the fundamental duties are the moral and ethical obligation, on citizen of India. Right on. FD are moral and ethical obligation on citizens of India. If you got the meaning of moral and ethical. Secondly, note down The original draft constitution does not mention FD, fundamental duties, right? Third, during emergency, the Indira Gandhi government or the Congress party, appointed a committee to recommend on fundamental duties. Note it down. During emergency, the Congress party appointed a committee to recommend on the fundamental duties. Yes, Prince. Anything if you want to ask. First point is from. हाँ बोलिए.
सर डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था, रीजॉइन किया सर.
Okay, कोई बात. Fundamental duties are moral and ethical obligation on citizens of India. The original Constitution of India does not mention fundamental duties. During emergency, the Congress party appointed a committee to recommend on fundamental duties. If you have noted down, let me know. Very good. Arinjay, Firoj, very good. Prince, done. Very good. Now the fourth point. The fourth point is the Swaran Singh Committee recommended eight fundamental duties. The Swaran Singh Committee recommended 8 fundamental duties. FD was borrowed from USSR Constitution. FD was borrowed from USSR Constitution. No liberal democracy or no liberal democratic constitution mentions FD, fundamental duties. X, right? No liberal democratic constitution mentions fundamental duties. There is one country in South Asia which has fundamental duties. Which one? Do you know that? Which country has fundamental duties apart from India in their own constitution? I have just, that is in South Asia. Which country? Anyone? Yes, Deepak, you tell me. Yes, Sri Lanka. Very good. Very good. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's constitution. Okay, no problem. Wild guess, sometimes it's correctly you have guessed. Sri Lanka's constitution mentioned FD. Right. Done. Writing part. Any confusion, any clarification if you want? Firoz, which committee had been appointed to consider and recommend on fundamental duties?
Sir, the Swan Singh committee.
How many fundamental duties Swan Singh committee had recommended?
8 fundamental duties.
Right. Very good. The next point, I forgot what would be the number, 6th or 7th? 6th. Okay. The 6th point is that in 1976, the 42nd Amendment, CAA, Constitutional Amendment Act, the 42nd CAA included 10 fundamental duties. 10 fundamental duties. In 1976, the 42nd Amendment Constitutional Act, the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act added 10 fundamental duties. Right. It also added new chapter, that is 4A, and new article 51A. Note it down. Done? Very good. Now come to the 7th point. The government, or I should mention here the Indira Gandhi government, the Congress party government, which amended the constitution. The Congress party rejected few suggestions of Swan Singh committee, namely, that was the parliament may impose penalty or punishment when FD is violated. So Swan Singh committee also suggested to punish the violator of fundamental duties, but government rejected this point. Note it down. Government rejected few suggestions of Swan Singh committee. First, punishment on violation of FD, fundamental duties. Second point, right, the punishment should not be questioned in any court. Should not be questioned in any court. And third, it is duty to pay taxes. So this three suggestion given by Swan Singh committee was rejected by the Congress party government. Right. Sentencing committee also suggested to punish the violator of fundamental duties. Okay. So sentencing committee पे कभी भी question आ सकता है. So it may include. Right. That's why it is very important. Done? Got the point? Okay. Arinjai, fine, done, clear? Any confusion? Okay. Now in 2002, one more fundamental duties were added in the part 4A. Next point, I don't know the number, 8 or 9, 8, okay. In 2002, the 86th CAA added 11th FD into the simple, ज़्यादा लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, notes को बड़ा बनाने की जरूरत नहीं है. In 2002, the 86th CAA added 11th fundamental duty. It means there are total 11 fundamental duties in the Constitution. Okay, so if you remember any fundamental duties, Arinjai, can you tell me one fundamental duties if you remember among from 11? And come one by one.
I remember clearly
No problem.
what it actually signifies, but I think it is supposed to be responsible citizens when it comes to preserving and maintaining law and order in society. Perhaps is one of the
So
the main
communal harmony.
components.
Communal harmony, yeah, that is one of the duty, right? Everyone has respect, communal, harmony. Yes, Deepak, can you come and say one fundamental
Yes, sir.
duties? One
Yes, sir.
fundamental duties.
So the newly added one is the parent or a guardian should provide opportunities for education to his child or ward
Right.
Between the age of 6 and 14.
14 years. That's the 11th one, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Very good. Firoj, can you spell one fundamental duties included in the Indian Constitution?
Yes, sir. I am not sure, but I'll tell one, sir.
Just try, no problem.
To follow the Indian Constitution.
To follow the Indian Constitution, yes, you're coming closer.
Yes, sir. And to respect the national anthems and all.
Yes, that is the first one. National emblem, national anthem, right? To respect the Constitution and constitutional values. Very good. That is the first one. Every citizen shall have duty to respect Constitution, constitutional values, national anthem, right? So everyone need to read out these 11 fundamental duties again and again, at least 5 times.
In serial order.
सीरियल नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है कि सीरियल ऑर्डर में आपको याद रखना है, नो, बट यू मस्ट रिमेंबर द कीवर्ड, जिसे टू अपहोल्ड सोवर्निटी, इंटीग्रिटी एंड यूनिटी ऑफ इंडिया, वहां पर भी है. कहां पर है? प्रियम्बल में भी है और फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज में भी है. क्वेश्चन पूछ लेगा व्हिच आर द प्रोविजंस. मैंने आप लोगों को कराया है ये क्वेश्चन, राइट? तो वहां पे प्रियम्बल को मत मारना, फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज को टिक लगाना है. आप लोगों ने किया भी क्वेश्चन. Am I right, Prince? We have done that kind of question. Okay, can you spell one fundamental duties?
Yes, sir. सर कॉमन स्ट्रीट कॉमन ब्रदरहुड है एक
Yes,
और
communal harmony, yeah, brotherhood. Yes, yes.
यस सर और प्रिवेंट कम्युनिटी कल्चर है और आई थिंक सो एक नेचुरल एनवायरनमेंट है
बहुत बढ़िया।
डेवलपमेंट साइंटिफिकली टेम्पर्ड
Tempered,
कुछ सेफगार्ड्स
exactly.
पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टी भी है सर एक
Yes, yes, है.
कुछ हाँ कुछ चीजें याद हैं
Yes, yes, yes. Natural environment है, you know, public property को protect करना है, harmony को बढ़ाना है. Yes, Deepak.
Sir, to
और एक
cherish
वो है
Yes, to cherish.
and follow noble ideas which inspired our freedom struggle.
Right, exactly. To follow the noble ideas that was given by the freedom struggle.
आई थिंक सर ये सेकंड और थर्ड है ना फ्रीडम वाला
Second.
आइडियाज को फॉलो करने वाला
Second.
सेकंड
To respect woman dignity, right? It is one of the duty, right? And to increase scientific temper, right? And to give up the old and orthodox value, right? Irrational value. That is also fundamental duties. Okay, so हम लोगों ने आप DPS भी पढ़ लिया, फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज भी पढ़ लिया. अभी थोड़ा और बताना है आपको फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज में. यस,
86 अमेंडमेंट से पहले 10 थी ना आई थिंक
10 थी. हाँ
हाँ लास्ट एक वो जो बच्चों को पढ़ाई करानी है 6 से 14 इयर्स थी.
86th अमेंडमेंट ने 3 चीज किया, मैं बताता हूँ. द 86th अमेंडमेंट 8वां ले लिया, CAA did 3 things. 21A को ऐड किया, दूसरा 11th FD को जोड़ा और तीसरा क्या जोड़ा, आर्टिकल जो 45 है उसमें एडिशन किया. क्या एडिशन किया दीपक, कैन यू टेल मी? वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड इट.
Sir, early childhood care and education.
Yes, early childhood care and early education, early childhood education, age below 6 years, age below 6 years. Fine. Okay, now I'm going to ask question here. I'm just going to ask a question here. If अगर आपसे कोई पूछे कि इन्वायरमेंट पे कोई फंडा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में कुछ है क्या, तो क्या बोलेंगे आप? Is any clause included in the constitution which talks about environment? Who? Arinjay? Tell me the clause. अगर ऐसा क्वेश्चन आ गया मेंस में कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोविजंस about the protection of environment.
Repeat the entire question once again, sir. What
Do you find any provisions in the Indian Constitution which tells you, which protects actually the environment?
You mean a specific article or?
Yeah, I'm asking, if you come closer, then that's fine. I'm a specific articles, or even you mention the part.
So I guess part, the fundamental duties, I guess they might have mentioned a clause.
Yes, FD में है, that's right.
Environmental protection.
Yes, so FD में है environment protection और कहीं पे है? Yes, anyone? Now, Prince. Any other? हाँ, कहीं पे और है?
I think so है ना एक Environment Protection Act 1986 करके.
No. I'm not asking about act. I'm asking about that is there any provisions in the Indian Constitution which advise either state or citizen to protect environment? What are those provisions? So one
So
provision
I
is
think so.
fundamental duty.
98, 48A.
Yes, yes, 48. So
48
DPS.
8 है और आर्टिकल
48 is
51A
46A है. You say
58A है सर 58B है एक
48
सॉरी 51 48A तो है
ठीक है.
एक 51A या 51B कुछ एक
51A तो फंडामेंटल ये है, एफडी है, फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज है.
ओके 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 ठीक है सर
हाँ, तो यानी आप
हाँ ठीक है वो तो
राइट कहीं से
ठीक है
yes yes you memorizing the old one, right?
yes sir.
Fine. So yes, so DPSP and fundamental duties are the two provisions in the Indian Constitution which directs state also and it directs citizen also, right? So it's the onus on the citizen as well as the state to protect the environment. Fine, as per Indian Constitution, right? It is the obligation of the state also, and it is the obligation of the citizens also. Yes,
सब फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज को तो हम राइट मतलब पॉजिटिव थिंग्स में देखेंगे ना
देखिए पॉजिटिव थिंग्स एक्चुअली फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज किसी भी लिबरल सोसाइटी में नहीं है, तो ये पॉजिटिव नहीं है, ये नेगेटिव है. किसके लिए? इंडिविजुअल के लिए. और स्टेट के लिए क्या देखेंगे? ऐसा कुछ ऐसे नहीं देखेंगे हम पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव में.
नहीं सर आपने वो राइट्स का और
वो अलग है
का वो बताया था.
हाँ बताया था. वो स्टेट पे डिपेंड करता है.
ओके
अब यहाँ पे स्टेट नहीं है, ये सिटीजन पे ऑनर्स आता है. इट इज ऑनर्स टू द सिटीजन, राइट? सो वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू वो डिबेट ही में नहीं आएगा, राइट? सो देयर आर 2 पॉइंट FD and DPSP which talks about protection of environment. Now come again. See, so it is confined. FD is only applicable to citizen.
So
Yes.
So one also mentioned about right to clean environment, which is also an understood and integral right to life.
Very good. Very
so can we
excellent.
include that also?
Yes, exactly. Article 21.
Yeah.
Article 21. So the Supreme Court, yes, very good. Very good. So agar question aaye to you just put the Supreme Court has declared that right to a clean environment is a basic right under Article 21, right to life and personal liberty. That's a good. That's a good. That's good. So Article 21, yes, right to yes, the SC judgment. If you remember that those judgment, that would be good. The SC judgment on right to clean air, water, and environment. Khadak Singh, more than mere animal existence.
So you said means when they were exploring the right to life, its dimensions. Right. Slowly and slowly, there were so many cases. So one of these cases was this one.
No. See, Khadak Singh case mein Supreme Court tried to link the Article 19, 20, and 21, but finally Supreme Court able to link it in the Maneka Gandhi case, right? And then the court gave in judgment that the law should be fair, just, and reasonable, right? So Khadak Singh case nahi hoga. We have to look at which case, right? To one. I'll tell you tomorrow. What about the judgment? Okay, fine. So 3 points you need to mention. Okay, keep in mind that because environment is very much important, right? So environment के ऊपर question आ सकता है, and if you can put judgment, Supreme Court judgment into that, constitutional value like fundamental duties, basically that is constitutional morality, right? ये संविधान हमें कहता है कि हमें करना चाहिए इसे, right? Each citizen shall have duty to protect the environment. Fine, you'll get more. I'm telling you, right? जहां से सब कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से मिले आप जरूर पुट कीजिए किसी भी आंसर में, because constitution is a living a document, right? Now, so that's good. So next is 9th, I think. Right. So FD is confined to citizens only. फंडामेंटल राइट्स क्या है? बहुत सारे फंडामेंटल राइट्स सिटीजन नॉन सिटीजन्स सबको है, लेकिन फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज इज ओनली कन्फाइंड टू सिटीजन, राइट? It serves as a reminder of being a responsible citizen. Right? It serves as a reminder of being a responsible citizen. Right? It has educative role. It has educative role. Right? It educates basically to each citizen that you have certain responsibility. If you know Gandhi talks about rights in terms of duties and duties in terms of rights. Yes, Deepak, do you want to come on Gandhi? Okay, reconnect. So Gandhi, if you want to अगर fundamental duties पे आया कभी भी, you can quote Gandhi. Gandhi concluded that we should exercise perform our duties as rights and exercise our rights as duties. Right? So there's a relationship between rights and duty. There's a relationship between rights and duties, right? So Gandhi is a perfect example to link the between rights and duties. Fine, done. If you're done, then I'll go ahead. Arinjay, Kiroj, Deepak, done. Very good. Okay. Now, it is not justiciable, but it is enforceable by the law, right? That means a parliament can make law. There is no law, such law, right? So the 10th point you can write, FD may be enforceable. Well, by the law made by the parliament. However, there is no such law. Especially related to fundamental duties, right? Done? Okay. Now the Supreme Court and fundamental duty. What Supreme Court talks about, there are lots of judgment, but not as much as there was in fundamental rights. One fundamental, judgment you are aware of, Minerva Mills Limited versus Union of India. इसमें एक दो लाइन फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज के बारे में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा था. क्या कहा था कि there may be a rule which imposes an obligation on individual or authority, yet it may not be enforceable in the court of law, therefore not give rise to corresponding right in another person. Yes, Prince. Subhas Kumar versus State of Bihar, Article 21, Environment. क्या बोला था? Yes, Prince. या
अभी वो बात हो रही थी ना सर, दीपक जो बोल रहे थे कि एक केस था कि जो एनवायरनमेंट के राइट टू हेल्दी एनवायरनमेंट,
हाँ आर्टिकल, अच्छा उसके बारे में,
फ्री वाटर, फ्री एयर फॉर पोल्यूशन, पोल्यूशन फॉर द फुल एंजॉयमेंट ऑफ लाइफ ऑफ द केस ऑफ सुभाष कुमार इन स्टेट ऑफ बिहार.
राइट ओके, दैट जजमेंट यू हैव रिटन.
सर ये मैंने पहले नोट्स बनाए थे ना, तो मेरे को ध्यान था, मैंने बनाए थे तो मैंने वो देखे पुराने नोट्स. तो
दैट्स गुड. सो वो लिख लीजिएगा, सुभाष कुमार वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ बिहार, राइट. या बेयर एक्ट में आप देखेंगे तो बेयर एक्ट में शायद मिल जाएगा. नाउ देयर इज वन कमिटी ऑन फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज, that is Justice Burma Committee on Fundamental Duties, FD. What Justice Burma Committee suggested, right? It suggested, to add duty to vote at election. Note it down. पहले ये टॉपिक लिख दीजिए, जस्टिस वर्मा Committee on FD. First, it recommended to add duty to vote at election. Actively participating in the democratic governance and pay taxes, right? So it recommended duty to vote at election, actively participate in democratic government and pay taxes. Justice Verma Committee on Fundamental Duties, right? So first suggestion was to add duty to vote. Done. Okay. Arinjay, done. Okay. First, Okay, second point, it recommended that the state should use education, right, as a means to education. It recommended that state should use education as a means to inform or educate, right, people about fundamental duties. Then it recommended that the state should use education as a means to inform or educate people about fundamental duties. Third point, it recommended more duties. It recommended more duty like namely, to assist accident victim, to raise voice against injustice, to raise voice against injustice, and duty to support a bona fide movement. Very interesting. It suggested to every person shall have duty to support movement, right? जिससे सरकार घबराती है, right? And bona fide तो always contested है. सरकार बोलेगी bona fide नहीं है, लेकिन जो movement करेंगे वो तो बोलेंगे bona fide movement है, right? It recommended more duties, namely to assist accident victim, to raise voice against injustice, and duty to support a bona fide movement. Done, Kiroj. Okay, so the next point, I think 4. Yes, it said that there are existing law, namely, the prevention of insult to national honor, National Honor Act 1971, वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट, ये तो हो गया नेशनल एंथम, नेशनल एम्बलम को जो अगर कोई नहीं रिस्पेक्ट करा उसको पनिश करने के लिए, यू नो, सिविल प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ सिविल राइट एक्ट, सिविल राइट एक्ट, the Wildlife Act, Act 1972, to punish the violator of the fundamental duties. So we don't need, basic any new law to punish the violator of fundamental duties. It said the Justice Verma Committee argued that there are many existing laws, namely Prevention of Insult to the National Honor Act 1971, Protection of Civil Rights Act 1955, and Protection of the Wildlife Act 1972, RPA Act 1951, etc., to punish the transgressor of or violator of the fundamental duties. Therefore, there is no need of any new law. Therefore, there is no need of new laws. हो जाए तो बताइएगा.
Sir, what is the fourth one? Fourth law.
Sorry.
What is the fourth law? Fourth law. After this Protection of Wildlife Act.
Protection of Wildlife Act, RPA Act, Representation of People Act 1951. The Representation of People Act 1951. Right? It related to election, right? So there are many laws, okay? Civil Rights Act 1955, Wildlife Act 1972, the Prevention of National, Insult to National Honor Act 1971. So these laws are sufficient to punish the violator of fundamental duties, right? What if fundamental duties become enforceable in the court? What would be the consequences? Yes, Hiroj.
Yes, sir.
What would be the consequences when fundamental duties would be enforceable in the court?
Sir, it will affect the fundamental rights of a people. It will violate the fundamental rights.
So first, Deepak has said that the court will be flooded, right? Flooded with the new petitions, right? कि इसने ये तोड़ दिया, उसने वो fundamental duties पूरी नहीं की, right? And would a democracy would be a democratic country more? Would India be a democratic country more? Because fundamental duties even not mentioned in any liberal democracy except Sri Lanka, right? And I told you what Sri Lanka is nothing in terms of democracy, right? Right? Would democracy be affected by the enforcement of the fundamental duties in India? Arinjay, do you want to comment on it? What about standing in cinema hall when national anthem is there and it is compulsory? It's not compulsory, but socially it is compulsory because अगर नहीं उठेंगे तो आपको पीट देगा वो. Arinjay, do you think that the playing a national anthem in the cinema hall before screening of the movie and standing before that on the national anthem during the cinema before the cinema is okay? Yes. Arinjay, can you answer?
So, could you repeat the point you just made? I got disconnected for a while.
Okay, no problem. See, the original question was, what would be the consequences when the fundamental duties would be enforceable in the court? Like fundamental right is there. Fundamental right is enforceable in the court. What would be the consequences when the fundamental duties would be also enforceable? That is the first question. Second question, that nowadays cinema hall play national anthem before screening the movie, right? And it is not compulsory to stand on the national anthem. Is it necessary to stand before, in the cinema hall? Give me one पहला दे दीजिए, उसके बाद दूसरा हम डिस्कस कर लेंगे. पहला दे दीजिए. अगर ये enforceable हो जाए में, या what would be the consequences when fundamental duties would be enforceable in the Supreme Court?
Sir, if fundamental duties would be enforceable in the Supreme Court, then we can expect Supreme Court would definitely be flooded with cases.
Right.
As a result of that,
Right.
it will increase the stress on their productivity and their functionality. Because the fundamental duties, even though they
SC will be overburdened. Okay, the SC will be overburdened.
They'll be overburdened, sir. And it will become very difficult to resolve conflicts arising from it, because many of the provisions are very they're very subjective in nature.
Right.
They're highly subjective in nature, they're not objective. So the interpretation of the Supreme Court can vary from case to case, and that can increase the burden on them. It's difficult to resolve and give clarification on their judgments, and this will bring a lot of ambiguity into the whole judgment, all judicial review process.
Right.
So yeah, it is, they are merely guidelines, but if you enforce them as law, which can be adjudicated by the Supreme Court, then obviously it will read a lot of clarification, a lot of objectivity will need to be derived from it. So there will be need for amendments. So yeah, that is all I can think of right now.
Okay, no problem. Okay, Deepak, you go ahead.
So a lot of points have been covered by Arinjay. Apart from that, sir, other than the purview of Supreme Court, we will see that if it is being enforceable, then it will also increase societal conflicts.
Yes, social conflict, 100%.
Everyone complaining about each other.
Right, each community, he would fundamental duties नहीं कर रहा, वो citizen नहीं है ना?
Yes, sir.
वो पाकिस्तानी है, ऐसे करके कुछ, या वो बांग्लादेशी है, anyway.
Yeah, and so some of the fundamental duties actually demands behavioral change in the people. And that behavioral change is actually impractical in the given the how huge our population is.
Right.
And the constant monitoring and constant surveillance will again be detrimental to the right to privacy.
Right.
Yeah. So if it is made enforceable, then it single-handedly violates most of the provisions of the Indian constitutions given to the citizens.
Right. Fundamental rights.
Yes, sir.
That is the soul of democracy. Right. So if soul is democracy will be destroyed or damaged, then the entire democracy will be damaged, isn't it? Okay, Firoz, tell me about the national anthem. वो अभी पॉलिटिक्स में बहुत चल रहा है, कुछ दिनों के बाद, महीनों में एक बार तो मिल ही जाता है कि महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट हैज मेड अ कंपल्सरी टू स्टैंड on national anthem just before the screening of movie. What do you think about it?
Yes, sir.
That's current is going. Yeah.
In my opinion, sir, I don't feel it should be enforced, sir.
Yeah. Why?
Because,
Why it should not be enforced?
Because the feeling of patriotism, it will not come with enforcement, sir. If any
The
person,
word you have used now,
yes, sir.
patriotism, it's not, it is a nationalism, right? There's a difference between nationalism and patriotism, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So, you know, feeling nationalism from top, right, is not a good, you know, good idea. Yes, is it that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hmm.
I think so, sir.
Any more?
No, sir. बस इतना यही है.
Okay, fine. Yes, Deepak.
Sir, sir, would you say that this word nationalism actually carries with itself jingoistic feelings?
It is actually.
Like patriotism is मेरा देश महान है, and
Yes.
nationalism is सिर्फ मेरा ही देश महान है.
मेरा ही देश महान है. Right. So the Hitler did all the, you know, atrocities on the base of nationalism, right? Okay, Prince, national anthem pe khada hona, why it is not logical? Or if it is logical, then you approve it. You just
I think so.
Mhm.
So I think so कि जब हम सिनेमा हॉल में या कहीं पे भी ऐसी जगह जाते हैं, हर चीज की एक जगह होनी चाहिए. हर चीज का जैसे अब नेशनल एंथम है, नेशनल फ्लैग की के सामने जब खड़े हो तो ज्यादा रिस्पेक्ट आएगी.
Right, exactly.
सामने खड़े होने पे और वहां पे सैल्यूट करने में. बट हो सकता है कि कुछ फिल्म्स ऐसी होती है जो मतलब आजकल का, जैसे आपको पता है सिनेमा कुछ अलग ही वे में चलता है, तो वहां पे नेशनल एंथम्स को ऐड करना, आई थिंक सो इट्स नॉट अ गुड आइडिया. बट देयर इज, हमको एक
अगर कहा जाए आपको
नेशनल ऑनर एक्ट 1971 जो एक है हमारा कि हमको हर उस चीज की रिस्पेक्ट करनी पड़ेगी, तो हमको रिस्पेक्ट करनी पड़ेगी उस चीज की. बट आई थिंक सो कि ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि सिनेमा हॉल में नेशनल एंथम चले, क्योंकि वहां पे हर तरीके की मेंटेलिटी आती है. तो
और आपने बहुत अच्छा मेंशन किया कि टाइम एंड सर्कमस्टांसेस वी हैव टू सी, राइट? सो वी गो टू मूवी सिनेमा हॉल टू, you know, for a recreation, isn't it? For refresh yourself. And refreshing yourself, that means releasing yourself, some tension, some you know, refreshing yourself. और वहां पर एक anthem means, you know, you have certain responsibility. Yes, responsibility means your moral duties, right? And putting moral duties in such circumstances is not it should not be violable, right? इतने कितना बड़ा लिख दिया इसने दीपक ने. अपना अनम्यूट करके बोल दो. No, not national anthem. Standing on national anthem is compulsory. One should. But
like,
you know,
Bijendra mentioned, the timing of it is, you know, it is rather, you know, a bit ambiguous, because before the start of any procession or any, you know, in this case, in the case of a cinema hall, you begin a movie, or you begin a work of art. So playing the national anthem for it, you know, it brings a sense that people usually play national anthem to conclude things, you know, like in the end.
So and that's fine. And I can just, yes, and you can just you know, and make chalo, ठीक है. But at the first, that's a good options, alternative you have given.
Yeah, because I've observed that even after every event, then if you play the national anthem, then actually that brings a good, you know, a bit of, it gives closure to people. Like, yeah, you know, it ended on a good note. Even though the movie turns out to be terrible, people can take, you know, they can take some respite in the fact that, yeah, you know, this is a comforting thing to end things on, and they can actually feel very rejuvenated. They have a new sense of confidence, and it exudes those, you know, good positive vibes when you play it after the end of some, you know, like you said, an act of you know, rest and recuperation, or, you know, some form of entertainment. Like even after any musical event or some procession or some, you know, public function, If you play it at the end, it generally arouses, positive vibes and feelings. But at the beginning, it seems a bit, I feel it is a bit awkward.
Playing national anthem is not a bad idea at the beginning of the screening, but compulsory standing. No, if someone is अगर कोई वो कुछ लेके आया है खाने के लिए, वो खा रहा है नहीं बैठ के और तुरंत national anthem शुरू हो गया, right? It would be disrespect.
It is supposed to be voluntary, sir. I believe it should be voluntary. Well, if he wants to start whether he has complete, he has the complete right to, give a voluntary reaction to it, and understand and honor his flag and other symbols which he regards as sacrilegious. Right. And in the true spirit of our constitution and our nation state, right. But it should be voluntary. You can't you can't enforce it. You cannot institutionalize.
Cinema hall is not that a space, man. Cinema hall is not that space. The national anthem must be seen. Should be played.
But it should be left to the individual. It is the individual.
There are school, colleges. There are disciplinary institutions like police, paramilitary forces, military, right? There are, national procession, you are rightly mentioned. That should be this place, right? When हर जगह national anthem को लागू करना, I don't know.
But sir, if you were to frame an answer, if this were an actual question in our GS2 paper, so it would be, I guess, you would recommend taking a very neutral stance by, saying that
yes,
it is.
You should have a neutral stand and some solution issues, if you can provide. So if you find such, it is a, little problematic, you just say why it should not be at the end of, yes, fine. And what would be the solution? Agar ye problem hai to. Nahi to, you have to support. Yes, there is no, we are becoming a little critical, but you must write a balanced answer, right?
सर आई थिंक सो जिस तरीके से ये मतलब सिनेमा हॉल में नेशनल एंथम का जो कॉन्सेप्ट हुआ ना, इससे ना जो नेशनल ऑनर्स को जो वायलेंट करने के लिए ना लोगों को ज्यादा वो हो गया है। कुछ लोग होते हैं ना, उनकी मेंटेलिटी अलग होती है, तो क्या हम नहीं हो रहे, खड़े कर लो जो करना है, कहीं ना कहीं हमारे नेशनल ओनर्स है उनको वायलेंट कर दें,
उनको भी वायलेंट करें और वो मैसेज जाता है लार्ज।
यस सर।
मान लीजिए कुकर है, कुकर में सीटी निकलता है ना, there are safety, the valve and cooker सीटी निकलता है। There are a few people who doesn't, you can't compel them. Yes, Deepak, बड़ी देर से तुमने bring करके रखा हुआ है। Yes.
No, sir. Actually, this is that I've seen the same implication when someone is being asked to say Bharat Mata Ki Jai.
Yeah, right.
And means yes, Arinjay has actually asked the question, which is good. That if we are supposed to answer this, and if some such type of questions comes in the exam, so we can say that in most of the places it is being played at the end, and why it is played, they also have that reason, because it ensures the public order. School में भी एकदम end में वो बजाते हैं तो people assemble, and then slowly सब लोग gate से बाहर जाते हैं.
Yes.
Yeah, so it has its utility when played at the end. Otherwise, it just serves as a reminder for the nationalism.
Yes, nationalism, it reflects as a compulsion.
Yeah, actually, it's a compulsion, and people don't. Yeah, and patriotism doesn't thrive under compulsion.
Exactly, and patriotism doesn't need any compulsion.
Any
it comes from the within, isn't it? It should come from the within. Yeah.
ऑलवेज हर जगह ऐसा ही होता है। आप बागा बॉर्डर चले जाओ, किसी भी नेशनल जहाँ पे जो कोई आप आई थिंक सो परेड्स में चले जाओ, कहीं पे भी जाओ, तो एट द एंड नेशनल एंथम प्ले किया जाता है, ताकि उसके बाद धीरे धीरे सब अपने अपने जगह जाने के लिए निकलते हैं। तो एट द एंड तो होना चाहिए। आई थिंक सो इट्स गुड इन सिनेमा हॉल पे
होगा तो कोई दिक्कत, बट एट द शुरू में स्क्रीनिंग से पहले आई डोंट थिंक, क्योंकि मैं बताया ना कि कोई मान लो कि कोई बाहर से कुछ खाना वाना लेके आ रहा है वो मूवी में खाने के लिए, और वो खा रहा है और शुरू नहीं हुई है, और फिर वो मूवी शुरू होता है और फिर वो खाना लेकर ही खड़ा हो जाता है।
कुछ लोग होते हैं एजिड भी होते हैं, वो एकदम नहीं खड़े हो पाते, उनको थोड़ा सा दिक्कत होती है, तो काफी सारी चीजें होती हैं।
राइट, जैसे ओल्ड मतलब डिफरेंटली एबल लोग होते हैं। हाँ, यस अरिंज है
सर वही इट इज लॉजिकल बिकॉज मूवी खत्म होने के बाद वैसे भी लोग खड़े हो ही जाएंगे, मतलब इट विल बी इनवॉलंटरी रिएक्शन, so it is it is pretty logically viable to play it there. तो एक है ना इंसेंटिव भी मिल जाएगा उनको कि हाँ आप यार 52 सेकंड्स की बात है, खड़े बात है, क्या कर रहा है।
और बैठे बैठे लोग थोड़ा सा ये भी होता है कि खड़े होंगे तो ठीक है, थोड़ा देर खड़े होते हैं,
हाँ थोड़ा रिलैक्स हो जाएंगे, थोड़ा फ्लेक्स आउट भी कर लेंगे। It is a more feasible option मेरे हिसाब से।
Exactly. So the good to have it's a good discussion. Now one more point you need to mention in the Supreme Court, in AIMS Students Union versus AIMS held that fundamental rights and fundamental duties should be given equal importance. That is one more point you need to mention. Yes, जो भी point है 5, 6 जो भी है. Then tomorrow we will do amendment to the Constitution and emergency provision if time will permit. So अगर नेशनल एंथम पे क्वेश्चन आए तो हमारा जो डिस्कशन हुआ है you need to write in a such a way, right? और अभी ऐसा मत कह देना कि नहीं होना ही नहीं चाहिए, बिकॉज हमारा कंक्लूजन भी ऐसा नहीं हुआ कि नहीं होना चाहिए, बट विद सर्टेन
यूपीएससी को नेगेटिव चीजें चाहिए ही नहीं, और खास तौर पे नेशनल चीजों के बारे में उसे नई चीजें,
नेगेटिव की बात ही नहीं है, नेगेटिव हम करना भी नहीं, हमें करना भी नहीं है।
यस
व्हाई नेगेटिव, वी आर द
आपने अभी बोला ना कि ऐसा मत बोलना कि होना ही नहीं चाहिए,
राइट,
एक तरीके से वो नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट हो गया ना कि भैया होना ही नहीं चाहिए,
ऐसा नहीं बोलना है, राइट।
तो यूपीएससी को ये पसंद ही नहीं है कि आप जैसे अभी शायद आपने बोला था, आई थिंक सो, मेरे को ध्यान नहीं है कि गांधी के बारे में यूपीएससी नेगेटिव कुछ सुनेगा ही नहीं, या कुलभूषण सर ने बोला था। अगर आप उनकी क्या कहते हैं फिलोसफी से, उनके पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से आपको अच्छा लगता है या नहीं लगता, इट्स नॉट मैटर, आपको सिर्फ ये देखना है कि गांधी ने क्या किया था और उसमें पॉजिटिव क्या। यस सर, तो वो पॉजिटिव, यूपीएससी ऑलवेज गो थ्रू विद पॉजिटिव थिंग्स, एग्जैक्टली, हमको पॉजिटिव रहना है,
अप्रोच रहना चाहिए, पॉजिटिव अप्रोच रहना चाहिए।
यस सर, यस सर, ओके, थैंक यू सर,
ठीक है, सी यू टुमारो देन, हाँ, ओके, बाय।